Mileeva is the female version of a hustler. Of a hustler. Of a hustler. Mileeva is the female version of a hustler. Of a hustler. Of a hustler. Mileeva is the female version of a hustler. Of a hustler. Of a hustler. Mileeva is the female.
Welcome to Mileeva Speaks podcast, episode 1, though not really. Before I get in what the topic is going to be about today, I do want to give a little bit of background on Mileeva Speaks. And if you hear any noise in the background, I have 5 Maltipoo puppies, and yeah, they're in here with me. So we're going to try to keep them quiet. So about Mileeva Speaks, this podcast actually started way back in September of 2018. I was doing lives on Facebook. I was doing just Spreaker, podcast software. And my good friend, Miss Fee, the First Lady, who was on radio, she said, no, you need a radio show. And so Mileeva Speaks went through many, many changes, leaving the quote unquote podcast platform and becoming a radio show in which I introduced music. So then it became like half music and half talk. And then all of a sudden, I introduced 2 segments. There was the Friday Drive, which was the music segment, and then the Tope, the topic of the evening. And so then I just said, it's Friday. People really just want to turn up and get ready for the weekend. So I'm going to take the talk out, and Mileeva Speaks, the Friday Drive, and the Tote just became the Friday Drive. I'm on 99.9 KERB. That is Curb, KERB, online.live. I'm on from 5 to 7 p.m. And I do 80s through 2000s old school hip hop and R&B, as well as some club, house, and I always end with my go-go pick. Shout out to my home city of Washington, D.C. That's right. So yeah, come and check me out for that. And I'll give a little bit more information towards the end of the show. But right now, we are 17 days away from the election, 4 days away from early voting here in Texas. I am in Fort Bend County, which is right outside of Houston, and I do plan on going to cast my vote on Tuesday morning. So I wanted to talk about some of the insane things that I've been seeing. And I'm not even talking about from the MAGA people, because they're gone. Like, there is no debating with them. They all reality is just gone from them. So I'm not even talking about them. The people that I'm talking about mostly is our own community, our Black community, and also those voters who may be undecided because they're not sold on Kamala Harris, but they don't really like Trump. But there's some fallacies that they're buying into that's making them lean towards Trump. And so that's what I want to talk about. The first thing that I'm hearing come out of a lot of people's mouths with regards to Kamala Harris is, well, she's the vice president. She has been for almost 4 years. Why hasn't she done anything? So I want to address that first. Okay. She is the vice president. And I feel as though some of you may have failed civics in not understanding the 3 branches of government, the role of the president, the role of the vice president, the 535 members of Congress in the Senate and the House, what their jobs are, and the 12 justices on the Supreme Court. And I don't really have time to break down each and every single one of those, but maybe I'll write a book, Civics for Dummies, and then you can learn it there. Right now, I'm only going to speak on the role of the vice president. Number 1 is to support the president, period. That's it. Support the president. Number 2 is to become president if something happens to the current president, whether he passes away, assassination, illness, dehabilitation, whatever it may be. If he's not able to fulfill his duties, his or her duties, then the vice president steps in as president. That's number 2. Number 3 is to simply break ties in the Senate. And if I'm not mistaken, I didn't pull that up, but I believe she's broken like 170 plus ties in the Senate where they could not come to an agreement. That's it, you guys. That's her job. She is in no way in charge of the economy. She does not have the authority or the power to give away billions of dollars to foreign aid, Israel, Taiwan, Ukraine. She does not sign those checks. She does not have the power to say yay or nay to those checks. She does not control the price of your eggs, your bread, your butter, your oil, your gas. She does not control the housing market, interest rates, inflation. She does not control the border. She can make suggestions. She can implement plans, which she did. Her and Biden actually came up with what the GOP called the toughest border control plan that they had ever seen. And they were all set to vote on it. And then Trump told them not to because he needed something to run on. So there's that. Trump was willing to put American lives in danger and to allow the overcrowding and inundation of America so that he could have a platform to run on, because Lord knows he has nothing else. So those are just a few facts. I just wanted to get that out of the way. What I'm hearing from, or seeing, I should say, online from the Black community, specifically Black men, is the question, what has she done for the Black community? She has been vice president. I just went over that. There's only so much that she actually can do, but I'm going to get into it in a moment. I'm going to get into that. But then another question or another statement, which I find so ridiculous, is she not Black anyway, so I'm not voting for her. Okay. She's not Black?
Are you sure? Sure.
Are you sure? Because the last time I checked, her father is Afro-Jamaican, Afro-Caribbean, however you want to say it. He's a Black man, and her mother is Indian. I'm Black and white. I'm still Black. I've never had anyone walk up to me and say, hey, white woman, what's up? Oh, look at that white woman over there. Never. In fact, I've had more people mistake me for Latina than anything, but definitely not white. So if she's not Black, what is she? Because you can't just say she's Indian because her mom is Indian, but her father is Black and Jamaican. So we're just going to act like she's the second coming of Christ and that her mother just made her and pushed her out all by herself, huh? She doesn't have a dad. She's Black. But 45 other presidents were also not Black. So or duh. Moving on. Let's talk about what Kamala Harris under Joe Biden has done for the Black community. Once I finish with that, I'll address the Trump side of things, because Lord knows there's a lot of fallacies over there. And again, I'm not addressing MAGA. If you're a Trumper, if you're an always Trumper, please keep moving, because I don't have anything for you. I'm not going to even waste my time arguing with you, because it's a lost cause, because the facts will smack you in the left and right cheek, face and ass, and you still will say, no, that didn't happen. Okay, so here we go. Under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris as his vice president, these are the things or the policies that have been implemented that have helped the Black community overall. Now, maybe it didn't help you personally, but you're not the only Black person in America. Okay, so stick with me. Securing economic mobility, educational opportunity, and the American dream for Black communities. They achieved the lowest Black unemployment rate on record and created 2.4 million jobs for Black workers as of August 2024. Lifted 400,000 Black children out of poverty by increased SNAP benefits through updating the Thrifty Food Plan, and continuing to call on Congress to restore the full expanded child tax credit, which during the COVID-19 pandemic cut Black child poverty in half, benefiting 600,000 and brought racial poverty disparities to a record low. That's SNAP benefits and the child tax credit, two things that Trump seeks to completely do away with. Yeah. Grew Black American business ownership at the fastest rate in over 3 decades. They did that. Tripled the number of SBA-backed loans to Black-owned businesses. Awarded a record $10 billion in federal contracts to Black-owned businesses in the fiscal year 2023. Invested a record of more than $16 billion in historically Black colleges and universities. Secured a $900 increase to the maximum Pell Grant Award, the largest increase in the past 10 years, and $23 million in first ever funding to the Augustus F. Hawkins Centers of Excellence program to increase the number of teachers of color and multilingual educators across the country. Approved the cancellation of almost $170 billion in student loan debt for nearly 5 million borrowers, including a significant number of Black borrowers who are disproportionately burdened by student debt. Took on racial bias in home appraisals and closed the Black-white home misevaluation gap by 40%. Reduced mortgage insurance premiums for FHA loans, saving 76,000 Black households an average of $900 a year. Cut costs for high-speed internet to 5.5 million Black households with the Affordable Connectivity Program. Distributed $2.2 billion in financial assistance to over 43,000 farmers who experienced discrimination. Led a historically equitable economic recovery. Black wealth, even after adjusting for inflation, is up 60% relative to pre-pandemic levels, the largest increase on record. Okay, now we're going to talk about ending health disparities. Ensured more Black Americans have health care than ever before by lowering premium costs by an average of $800 for millions of Americans, increasing Black enrollment in the Affordable Care Act coverage by 95%, or over 1.7 million people since 2020. Lowered monthly premiums for health insurance, capped the cost of insulin at $35 and all out-of-pocket drug costs at $2,000 for people on Medicare, and announced new negotiated prices for the first 10 prescription drugs for Medicare price negotiation, expected to save $1.5 billion in out-of-pocket costs in the first year of the program alone. Made sickle cell disease the first focus of the new Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services models, aimed to lower the high cost of drugs, promote accessibility to drug therapies, and improve patient care. Expanded Medicaid postpartum coverage from 60 days to 12 months in 46 states and Washington, D.C., covering 700,000 more women in the year after childbirth. Secured an additional $1.5 billion for Head Start. Delivered $1 billion to help meet the mental health needs of young people by preparing and hiring a projected 14,000 additional mental health professionals to serve America's schools. And now let's get into making communities safer and strengthening America's commitment to justice. They signed an executive order on police reform when congressional Republicans would not pass the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. This restricted the use of force, banned chokeholds, restricted the use of no-knock warrants, and created the first ever national database of federal law enforcement misconduct, something else that Trump will be trying to get rid of. Created the first ever White House Office of Gun Violence Prevention. U.S. Surgeon General named gun violence a public health crisis and issued a public health advisory on how to reduce violence. Signed into law the bipartisan Safer Communities Act, BSCA, the most significant gun violence reduction legislation enacted in nearly 30 years, and taken more meaningful executive action than any other president to make our schools, churches, grocery stores, and communities safer. Secured $400 million in funding dedicated specifically for community violence interventions that invest in evidence-informed strategies to prevent violence. Cracked down on the source of illegal firearms by making it illegal to manufacture ghost gun kits, enacting the first ever federal gun trafficking law, taking a zero tolerance approach to rogue gun dealers, and regulating the number one source of guns involved in gun trafficking investigation, unlicensed sellers. Pardoned, this is a big one, y'all. Listen to this one. Pardoned thousands of Americans under federal and D.C. law for simple possession of marijuana. I say that's a big one because y'all keep going back to her days as a prosecutor saying she's locking up everybody, all Black men, for marijuana, which is simply not true. Helped bring violent crime to its lowest level in 50 years, lower than during any year of the previous administration. With Trump, violence was actually up. Much of it coming from his own people. Worth throwing that in there. And finally, just character, restoring the soul of this nation. They signed 2 executive orders directing the federal government to address inequality, protected Black history as American history, signed the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act, the first new federal holiday for African Americans since MLK Day, designated Springfield 1908 race riot and Emmett Till and Mamie Till Mobley national monuments, signed the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act to classify lynching for the first time as a federal hate crime, worked to protect the sacred right to vote through executive actions and continued calls for legislation, and finally appointed the first Black woman to the Supreme Court, more Black women to federal circuit courts than all previous presidents combined, and more Black judges in a single term than any other president. So there you have it. When you ask yourself, or you get on these internets and start asking the question, what has Kamala Harris done for Black people? My question to you is, what has Trump done for Black people? And then not only, I don't want you talking about stimulus checks, okay? I want you to do what I just did. I want you to pull up actual policies that Trump implemented during his 4 years as president of the United States that actually helped the Black community. I want to see it. And if you happen to see this video and you are a Trump supporter, a Black Trump supporter, I want you to come with facts, because, honey, these are the facts. And they are easy to find if people would stop talking and start learning, instead of just parroting Fox Entertainment talking points or Trump talking points. That's what they've done. Kamala Harris, not being the president, can only do so much. But yes, she took an active role in every single policy, every single change that Biden did. She had a part of that. Okay? Now that I have gotten that out of the way, I want to flip to the other side. When I ask people why they're undecided voters, those people that are still on the fence but leaning towards Trump, when I ask them why they are voting for a man who has the vocabulary and intelligence of a third grader, who is a con man, who is a rapist, a pedophile, a hateful bigot, a racist, a xenophobe, a liar. I mean, literally, Webster's should just put Donald Trump's face right next to liar in the dictionary. Need to really make that happen. Over 32,000 lies. And I'm feeling like there's been so many. I feel like it's way more than that, but he tells so many on a regular basis that people just kind of get tired of taking count. But when I ask them this question, they agree that, yeah, he doesn't have the greatest character. He does lie, but he's good for the economy. He's good for the economy. The economy was better under him. Okay. So let's address that right quick. There's called a lag period when you're dealing with the economy. And what that means is that every single new president inherits the works, the policies, the economy of the outgoing president. So, for instance, Bill Clinton, he inherited the works and policies and economy of George H. Bush. Okay. Those first couple of years of Clinton's presidency, the economy was shaky. He had to put in his own work to get those policies. Last couple of years, everything seemed to kind of level out, and his actual policies begun to take effect. He then passed that healthy economy on to George W. Bush, who, as we all know, screwed it up monumentally, or to use one of Trump's words, bigly. How did he do it? Of course, we know he started not one, but two wars, two separate fronts that, just shot the inflation up. Everything was out of whack. His economy sucked. He did 8 years. And, I'm not ashamed to say this. Let me have a transparent moment, because I also know there's going to be somebody that says, oh, you're a libtard. I voted for George W. Bush not once, but twice. I'm not ashamed to say that, because at the time, I thought he was what was good for America. At the time, and especially after 9/11 happened, I've thought that, okay, we need somebody in office that's not going to play no games right now, because shit just got real. But, as always, sometimes we have buyer's remorse and we regret our decisions. And that's definitely a decision that I regretted, because, yes, he made a mess. A lot of servicemen and women lost their lives when it was unnecessary. We know he wasn't going over there to get, his lick back for 9/11. He was going over there to find that oil. It was all about the oil. So he, first couple years, first like 3 years, he had a good economy because he was living off of Clinton's economy. But that fourth year and into his last 4 years, it was a shit show. That was his policies and his works that started to take effect. So economy's jacked up. What happens? Let's keep going. He passes that jacked up economy to Obama. Obama gets in office, first couple years, look at that Negro. He ain't no good. Look at the economy. It's gone to shit. Not understanding that was their boy Bush's, our boy, because I voted for him twice. That was our boy Bush's works that Obama was dealing with for that first 2.5 years. And then by the end of the third year, fourth year of Obama's first term, things started to take an uptick. The last 4 years of his presidency, the economy was great. Yeah, jobs were created, black jobs too. As Trump with those black jobs are, I don't know. So, inflation, came down, jobs increased. He did his thing. He fixed it. He got the economy back on track. Good economy when Obama left. He handed that economy to Trump. And here y'all go. Trump had the best economy. Did he though? Because the first couple of years, if not the first 36 months of Trump's presidency, was all Obama. That was all the work Obama did. Kind of remember, like that last year and a half, things started to go south, didn't it? That was Trump's policy kicking in. That was Trump's policies taking effect. And then, of course, he passed that off to Joe Biden. That's that lag. He passed it off to Joe Biden, and now, rinse and repeat. Biden sucks. Look at the economy. That's your boy Trump's policies that Biden is currently cleaning up. He spent the first 2.5 years of his presidency, Biden, cleaning up what Trump messed up. And so now we're towards the end of Biden's presidency, and we start seeing that uptick again. So here's how you know what Biden actually did. This is how you're going to have your measurement. This is how you measure that. If Kamala Harris wins this election, pay close attention to the first 2 years of her presidency. Because if it's good, if the economy is good, things start, going in an uptick and continues in an upward direction, then that means that Joe Biden's policies worked. And she's reaping the benefit of that. If Trump gets elected, Trump didn't do shit. Okay? Are we understanding? Trump doesn't come in office and overnight the economy just goes, oh, Trump's back. No, he would be inheriting what Biden had put in, the previous mess of Trump's that he cleaned up. Okay? Now, let's say Kamala Harris gets elected and we pay attention to those first 2 years. Everything is a mess. Things start going back downhill. That won't be Kamala Harris's fault. That would be Joe Biden's fault, because that would mean that the policies he implemented were trash. That's how you'll tell. If Trump gets elected and the first 2 years are bad, as much as I would love to blame it on him, and I would, it's not his fault. He has done nothing. These are the policies of Joe Biden. Okay? How you'll know what Kamala Harris and or Trump actually has done, you won't begin to see that until the last couple of years, if not the last year of their presidency, because that's when their policies actually start to trickle in and have a lasting effect. on the economy. And I'm not an economist, by the way. All right. I just kind of know how it works, but I don't have all the fancy terminology. So please don't no one come in my comments like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I actually do. I'm just not an economist. So I don't know the fancy terminology, but I know the process. I know how it works. Okay. So with that being said, no, Trump did not give you free money. That's another one I'm seeing from black folks. Y'all are sitting back, wait, you got your hands open waiting for a check. That's never going to come. And I'm going to tell you why it's not going to come. First of all, because we're no longer in a COVID pandemic. Okay. That stimulus check was given to do exactly what it's called, to stimulate the economy, because people were at home. People were working from home. Shops were shut down. They wanted to give people money to spend to stimulate the economy. Okay. Trump did not vote for that. He voted against it. And the only reason why he finally said, okay, give the peasants the money, is because Congress said, well, we'll let you put your name on the check. Narcissistic man, baby. That tracks. Yeah. So that's why you ended up getting the checks with his name scribbled all huge on the bottom of it. Because he wanted to make it look like, look what I done did. He ain't did shit, y'all. He ain't did shit. This is the part of the show where it gets real, because when I'm reading, I'm focusing and I'm reading what I'm reading, and I'm trying to do it as professionally as possible. But this is the point of the show where shit gets real. So hold on, Trump ain't do shit. As I said earlier, if you can't show me any policies, any actual policies that Trump implemented that helped any Americans except for his wealthy, the wealthiest portion of them and corporations, let alone black Americans. Don't talk to me. Like, literally stop. Don't even open your mouth to tell me how good Trump was for the economy and for black Americans. Because
all right, let's just admit it. That didn't happen.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen. He was not good for the economy, and he damn sure wasn't good for black America. Okay? So now that we've got that out of the way, now that y'all kind of understand how the lag in economy works, that, no, a president does not just come in and within 2 months, abracadabra, the economy is fixed and they can take the credit for it. It's not how it works. Okay. If I have to say it again, Obama inherited Bush's economy, took him a couple years to clean it up. Obama passed down a great economy to Trump. He had that great economy for a couple of years, then he screwed it up. His screw up is what was passed on to Biden. Biden had to deal with that screw up for the first 2 or 3 years. Now he's cleaned it up. It's on an uptick. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of years to find out if Biden's policies actually made the mark. So now that we got that out of the way, if you have just a little bit more understanding of how that works. Now, let's get into why. I mean, like, really why Trump is horrible for the economy. Because another thing that I hear, oh, he's a businessman. He's a businessman. He's a smart businessman. Is he, though? Because I have some information here that will rival and disabuse you of that notion. Okay. 26 failed businesses. 26 failed businesses. And I'm about to get into it. But I don't want you to focus on just the fact that these businesses crumbled. Some of them never made it off the ground. Some of them made it for a year. Some of them may have made it for a few years and crumbled. I want you to pay attention to why they crumbled. That's what I want you to do. So let's get into that. So we're going to get into this. Here's a look at 26 business ventures that did not hit the mark, like his economy did not hit the mark. We're going to start off with number 1, Trump University. It lasted for 6 years, from 2004 to 2010. A for-profit, of course, education company. Notice they did not say institute. They said company. That ended in a $25 million settlement over fraud lawsuits without him actually admitting wrongdoing. The venture was criticized for misleading marketing practices, promising to teach Trump's real estate strategies through programs that failed to deliver. Now, my question about this is it was not certified. It was not accredited by anybody. So, like, you got this paper certificate, and then what? Because, like, where are you going to use? I don't understand. Anyway, failed. Number two, Trump the Game. It came out originally in 1989, then it was revamped in 2005. The board game saw poor sales and was ultimately discontinued. Despite those relaunch efforts, the game did not achieve lasting market success. Financial details regarding production and marketing costs versus revenues are limited, but reflect a misjudgment in market demand. I want you to hold on to that. I want you to hold on to the first one, failed to deliver. That's the university. And misjudgment in market demand. Hold on to those. 3, Trump Vodka came out in 2006, had a 5-year run until 2011. A luxury vodka brand that failed to meet sales thresholds and was discontinued. Trump Vodka struggled to compete in the saturated premium vodka market. Discontinued due to failure to meet sales thresholds required to continue the license. The investment in branding and production, given the ambition to dominate the luxury vodka segment, suggests substantial unrecovered costs. Trump Airlines from 1989 to 1992 acquired for $365 million. The airline defaulted on a $1.1 million loan repayment and was eventually ceased in operations, underlining the financial risk in the aviation industry. Operational costs and eventual default on loan repayments compound the total losses from the venture. Hold on to that one too. Default on loan repayments. Trump Steaks, 2007. Period. An attempt to break into the meat industry ended shortly after its launch. Sold exclusively through the Sharper Image and QVC. The venture struggled due to poor sales and market reception. There goes that market forecasting thing again. Trump Steaks was pulled from shelves within 2 months due to low sales. Specific financial losses are not publicly detailed, but the quick discontinuation indicates a failure to capture the market. GoTrump.com, 1 year, 2006 through 2007. A luxury travel search engine shut down after a year due to critique and lack of traction, showcasing the challenges of establishing a new digital platform. Initial setup and operational costs likely resulted in financial losses due to the short operational period. Trump Mortgages also only lasted a year, 2006 through 2007, launched at the brink of the housing market crash. I'm not even in mortgages, and I know that's dumb. It folded quickly. It folded quickly due to the subprime mortgage crisis, emphasizing the impact of poor timing and market conditions. There's that market forecasting thing again. It closed doors as the housing market crashed, signaling, a poor timing and a significant misread of market conditions, resulting in likely substantial startup costs and operational losses. They just had to add this little bit, and I'm going to read it. It's interesting that Trump Mortgages struggled as a lender, given Trump's history as a borrower. Where is my damn, oops. I need to get my sound bites together. Okay. Trump Ice lasted 6 years, 2004 to 2010. Originally launched as part of Donald Trump's array of branded products, Trump Natural Spring Water, marketed under the Trump Ice brand, promised one of the purest bottled waters. Despite its discontinuation in 2010, it remains exclusively available at Trump branded properties, emphasizing the luxury and exclusivity associated with the Trump name. The brand, known for its low mineral content and being bottled in plastic, has been critiqued as more of a vehicle for Trump's image than a testament to water quality. I guarantee that shit is tap water. Stop playing with me. Number 9, Trump Magazine lasted 2 years, 2007 through 2009, shut down after only 2 years amid a challenging advertising market for luxury publications, underlining the tough media landscape. The venture shutdown suggests significant unrecouped investment in publication and distribution. Here we go into the properties. Number 10, Trump Tower, Tampa, 1 year, 2006 through 2007. 2006 and 2007 was a horrible year for him. My God. A real estate venture shelved due to financing and market challenges, indicating significant investment losses. The proposed luxury condo project was canceled amid the real estate market downturn, leading to lost deposits and investments, highlighting the financial risks in speculative real estate ventures. 11, Trump Soho Hotel, 2008 to 2017. Not bad, 9 years. Faced legal challenges and struggled with occupancy rates before being rebranded, showing the competitive nature of the luxury hotel sector. Initial investment and operational losses, compounded by legal fees, marked this as a financial misstep. 12, Trump Taj Mahal, 1990 through 2016. Well, okay, 16 years. Opened with grandeur, but faced immediate financial distress and multiple bankruptcies. There goes those bankruptcies, reflecting the complexities of large-scale casino operations. The scale of investment versus accumulated debt and operational losses underscores a significant financial failure. 13, Trump Marina, originally Trump's Castle. Opened in 1985 in Atlantic City as Trump's Castle, this casino resort was renamed Trump Marina in 1997. Despite the rebranding efforts and strategic location, had a perfect location. That's real estate. Location. The property still struggled with financial stability and competition from newer, more modern casinos. By 2011, Donald Trump has sold the property after multiple challenges, including a near foreclosure in the late 1990s. 14, Trump's World Fair at Trump Plaza. Trump's World Fair, another casino venture in Atlantic City, was opened in 1996 as an addition to the existing Trump Plaza. It aimed to provide a unique entertainment experience with its fair-like atmosphere. It failed to draw the expected crowds and revenues, leading to its closure in 1999. This venture further highlighted the difficulties in maintaining profitability in the volatile casino market. Trump Baku Hotel never opened. This is 15. A luxury hotel project in Azerbaijan. I hope I pronounced that right. I don't even know where that's at. That faced legal and financial issues, highlighting the risks of international real estate ventures. Legal and financial issues halted this project, suggesting sunk costs in development and planning without the realization of potential revenues and returns. Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino from 84 through 2014. Once a landmark in Atlantic City, it went through multiple bankruptcies before closing, demonstrating the challenges of maintaining profitability. My mouth is not working today, y'all. Multiple bankruptcies before its closure, indicating substantial financial losses over its operational life due to declining revenues and competitive pressures. 17, Trump International Hotel and Tower in Dubai, never realized. Shelved following the 2008 financial crisis, illustrating the global impact of economic downturns on luxury real estate. The failed venture reflects lost investments in planning and pre-developed stages. There's that planning again. 18, Trump International Hotel and Tower, New Orleans, never realized. Abandoned after Hurricane Katrina, indicating initial investment losses and unrealized potential in a recovering market. The project was abandoned due to the city's extensive rebuilding challenges. I mean, that's really not his fault. I'll give him that one. Can't predict a hurricane. Hurricane hits, it is what it is. 19, Trump Tower, Palm Beach, never realized. Faced local opposition and environmental concerns, quickly scrapped, underscoring the influence of community and environmental considerations. You don't care about the environment. 20, Trump Tower, Charlotte, never realized. Encountered economic uncertainties and financing challenges, leaving the ambition mixed-use development uncompleted. This is another example of Trump experiencing financial losses related to planning and initial development efforts without achieving fruition. There's a pattern here, you guys. There's a pattern. 21, Trump Institute, a separate business from Trump University, offering real estate seminars under a licensing agreement until 2009. Trump endorsed the program through infomercials despite not being involved in its operations. While Trump endorsed the program, financial details on the scale of investment or revenue share are not public, suggesting a venture that did not meet its expected potential. 22. Professional football and social media forays. Trump's business interests have also spanned professional sports and social media. These endeavors, while not detailed in financial outcomes here, signify his diverse portfolio and his readiness to take on high-risk ventures, demonstrating his approach to business and entrepreneurship. 23. Trump Foundation, fraudulent charity from 1988 to 2018. A private foundation started by Donald Trump, dissolved by a court order in 2018 following a series of legal violations. The foundation was scrutinized for unethical and illegal, not just unethical, but illegal activities, including self-dealing and unauthorized campaign contributions. Investigations led by the New York State Attorney General culminated in Trump being ordered to pay $2 million in damages for misusing charitable funds for political gains. That was in 2018. So this refers to his run in 2016. This payment was distributed among 8 different charities as restitution. They do not name those charities here. The settlement also mandated that the foundation be dissolved under court supervision, highlighting the misuse of charitable organizations for personal benefit. Established following Donald Trump's acquisition of the Cluj Estate Winery and Vineyard in 2011, Trump Winery has floated in and out of headlines due to both controversy and success. Despite claims of being the largest winery on the East Coast, Trump Winery is not the largest, either in volume of wine produced or acreage under vine in Virginia, let alone the East Coast. It produces about 36,000 cases of wine annually with around 200 acres under vine, making it a significant player in Virginia's winery scene, but not the largest as he previously claimed. Trump Cologne, 2004 through 2015. Donald Trump's venture into the fragrance market began with Donald Trump the Fragrance. In 2004, a partnership with Estee Lauder aimed at capturing the essence of the luxury and success associated with his persona. This line expanded with Trump's success in 2012 and Empire by Trump in 2015, broadening his brand's reach into personal grooming and luxury lifestyle products. And finally, Truth Social, the social media platform launched by Donald Trump's Trump Media and Technology Group, has faced significant financial challenges in 2023 alone. Regulatory filings and company reports highlighted losses of $58 million. A key issue for Truth Social has been generating sufficient revenue, particularly from advertising, a challenge amid stiff competition from established social media grants. The platform generated only about $3 million in revenue over the first 9 months of 2023, contrasting sharply with its significant operating losses. The platform's financial struggles are compounded by its limited user base and engagement levels, which are crucial for attracting advisors and sustaining operations. Truth Social has an estimated 2 million active users, substantially lower than larger platforms like Instagram or TikTok, making it challenging to draw significant advertising revenue. The stock of TMTG, listed as Truth Social, has also seen volatile movements, reflecting investor skepticism about the platform's viability and the broader financial sustainability of Trump's media venture. The stock experienced sharp declines due to ongoing financial losses and uncertainties about its future profitability. That's that. So now, my people that are saying that they're thinking of voting for Donald Trump in this election due to his wonderful economic policies, which no one can seem to name. No one can seem to pull up what actual policies he implemented. I've done that for Biden and Kamala Harris. that actually benefited not only the American people, but specifically Black Americans, because that's the group of people that I'm actually talking to. As I said at the beginning of this podcast, I'm not talking to Mega. Like, y'all are so far out there. There's no talking to you. Trump could literally tell you the sun is made of cheese and y'all would believe it. He could tell you that the moon can be eaten and y'all would believe it. There's nothing that this man says or does that you find even the slightest bit worthy of a challenge. And so there's no talking to you guys. So I'm only talking to the people who are saying, well, you know, if someone put a gun up to my head, I'm going to vote for Trump because, you know, he's a businessman and the economy was good under him. Well, here we understand that it wasn't his economy. It was Obama's economy, and that Joe Biden in the first couple of years of his presidency was dealing with Trump's actual economy. And now we also understand that Trump is a failed businessman. Yes, he does still have some businesses, some hotels that are up and running. But overall, 26 failed businesses is wild to me. And as I said, there's a pattern. He jumps head first. He does not think. He does not forecast the market to find out if this business venture is going to be good, just like he doesn't think to act before he acts when implementing any sort of policies that will help the middle class. He's just going to jump head first. And he's not interested in helping you and me. He's interested in helping corporations, his wealthy buddies. He's not interested in helping the middle class at all. Add to it the fact that this man stood in his rallies and said that he does not care about you. He only cares about your vote. This was said when it was really hot at the rally. And he was saying, yeah, I don't want you guys passing out. I'm going to play that clip.
Because I don't want anybody going on me. We need every voter. I don't care about you. I just want your vote. I don't care.
So, yeah. It's amazing to me that some of you will not believe what your eyes are seeing or believe what your ears are hearing. This man has said the quiet parts all out loud. He doesn't care about you. He only cares about your vote. People are denying that he has anything to do with Project 2025. That's bullshit. He knows about Project 2025. He's buddies with the people that wrote it. And he even came out in a video. It's on video. It's literally on video, saying that would be the guideline for his presidency, the vessel for his presidency. He said it. But the moment he says, oh, I don't know nothing about Project 2025, all of a sudden, y'all believe it. What is one thing I have to give to Trump? I'll give him this.
This guy was good.
He's good because he can make, man, that joker can make you believe that joke. If you a black man, he can make you believe you white. If you're a dog, he can make you believe you're a horse. He's good. That's about the only thing that he's good at is being a con man. Yeah, he's very good at being a con man. But listen, I want for my people not to be conned. Have I historically agreed with everything that any president has ever done? The answer is no. Did I agree with every policy that Obama implemented, even though I voted for him twice? No, I did not. Did I agree with everything that Biden has done? No, I did not. Do I agree with every single thing Kamala Harris is proposing or may propose? Obviously not. But I think there's a part of us, sane Americans, who feel this isn't just a vote about policy, which if you go to her website, all of you asking, well, what's her policy? She don't have they're there. They're literally there on the website, which shows that you guys just don't read. You don't read and you don't research. They're literally there. It's more than just policies. It's more than just what about the economy. It's more than just inflation and the cost of some eggs and bread and housing and, all these things that she is planning on tackling, which is important, but it's more than that. It really is about the soul of America. It really is about character at this point. It is about lies and accountability. It is about joy versus despair, or love versus anger and hate. It really is about those things for me. I'm going to speak for me. And I feel like anyone in my position is probably going to feel the same way. We're not just voting for Kamala Harris because her policies are the best policies that was ever written. No, maybe they aren't. We won't know that. We won't know that until we give her a shot. But what I do know is that a presidency with her is going to be substantially better than a presidency with Donald Trump at the helm once again. And it's amazing that I'm seeing so many people from across the world, okay, the UK, France, Germany, just everywhere, South Africa, other places in Africa, Australia, Canada, Mexico. People are chiming in like, my God, I hope you guys can vote Kamala Harris. And because Trump is not just going to affect Americans, everything he does is going to resonate with the rest of the world as well. And they don't want to deal with that motherfucker. Okay. I'm just saying. They're not trying to deal with that again. And so hopefully this podcast has given you a few enlightening moments, and just bear with me as I get my grounds, because it's been a very long time since I've done an all talk podcast. Generally, I would, talk for a few minutes, get into something, and then boom, I would have my music, give y'all a little break, give my voice a little bit of a break. But this is all talk. This is my all talk podcast. Mileeva Speaks. So I'm not doing anything but speaking. So, if you come across some, places where my voice is cracking, especially since I did a lot of reading, I did more reading than I did talking, like, on my own accord. Fumbles, whatever. Just, I'm not even going to edit all of that out because I'm human and I'm not a robot. I'm not perfect. There's going to be some misreads. There's going to be some voice cracking, crack-a-lack-a-lacking. Yeah, especially when I'm dealing with allergies. And if I sound congested, that's why, because I'm dealing with allergies right now at this moment. So, but anyway, I hope that you ignore any of that and just dig into the facts that I read. Okay. All of that information is out there for you on the web. I mean, literally, I hate saying it, but Google is free. If you want to know the role of the vice president, I've given it to you. Google it. Google role of the vice president before you start saying, well, she's been vice president for, 4 years. What has she done? Google the role of the vice president and then Google policies implemented by Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. As a matter of fact, it's on the White House, whitehouse.gov. It's there. Go to whitehouse.gov. All of that's there. If you really want to know what Trump has done for the economy, then research policies that he's implemented. Research the lag in economy so that you can understand how it takes time for policies to trickle down and actually affect the economy, how it goes from president to president. And historically, Google this, historically, Democrats have had stronger economies than Republicans. Google that. Google that. Because that's the truth. That's a fact. What has happened is, as I mentioned, you have the Democrats inheriting a mess, taking the time to clean that mess so that it appears, because they're in office, that mess is theirs. They fix it. They hand it off to a Republican. And so now it looks like the Republican has done the good deeds because they're sitting in a good economy, when that's not how it works. The Democrats clean up the mess. The Republicans fuck it up. Rinse and repeat. Okay. So yeah, Google these things. Don't just take my word for it. I'm reading I've read it for you. I didn't write it. It came from these websites, whitehouse.gov, msn.com. That's what I was just reading, the failed businesses. But they cite where they get the information from. I'm just not going to go to these separate sites to find it and read and keep flipping through. I needed a site that had it all put together. Okay. But the resources where they got that information from is there. So yeah, before anyone says, oh my God, MSN, that liberal rag. Because I know how y'all do. So listen, I'm going to make the plea to all of those of you who are on the fence to really do your research. Please do your research instead of believing what Trump is saying or believing what, your neighbors are saying or your coworkers are saying, or if, God forbid, you're still watching Fox No News, Fox Entertainment, faux entertainment, as we like to call it. Stop and go and get the facts. You have to have the facts. In fact, I feel like a civics test should be given before anyone is allowed to vote, to be honest, because if you don't understand the role of government, if you don't understand basic things about the economy and policies, fiscal policy and how it works, you don't have to have the deep details, but just how it functions, that lag that I talked about. If you don't have a basic understanding of the role of the vice president versus the president, you probably should be treated like a child or a felon and not allowed to vote because you are voting misinformed, which is dangerous. And again, I'm talking to people who are on the fence. MAGA's going to vote for that man no matter what. He can bend over and give them his ass to kiss, and they will do it gleefully while cheering. Trump has the bestest orange ass. They don't care. So again, MAGA, leave the room. I'm not even talking to y'all. It's a waste of time. I'm talking to the undecided voters and hopefully the black community who is voting for Trump, but doing so based on fallacies. Doing so based on a lack of information or misinformation. If you change your mind, great. If you don't, oh well. Because I feel like most sane Americans are tired. We're fed up with the hate coming out of that man's mouth every single day. And now it's just ranting nonsense. It's just, I don't even know what he's talking about anymore. Like he talked about January the 6th and he was like, Ashley Bobbitt was killed, but nobody was killed and nobody had guns. What is he saying? Like his mental health is on the decline. And if his felonies were not enough to disqualify him, if January 6th wasn't enough to disqualify him, then him in action on video should be enough to say, you know what? No, just no. Find another candidate. We're not doing this. And I realize it's too late to do that now, but my God, he's senile. Not only is he hateful, but he's senile. And already he's pushing the rhetoric that caused January the 6th, trying to state that, oh, the Dems are already cheating and blah, blah, blah. No, they're not. But the Republicans are certainly trying to. Yeah, they're really trying. They've been trying. They've been put in place for this very moment. He has people that are willing to not certify the election if he doesn't get it. So, on that night, you guys, the celebration, if Kamala Harris is elected, our 47th president, may be short-lived because it's not going to be, oh, she's president, and it will not be a peaceful transference of power. Just like 2020 was not a peaceful transference of power. Every president on their way out has always called and congratulated the new president. Hillary Clinton conceded and she called and congratulated Trump. Trump never conceded to Biden, and he certainly never called and congratulated him because he's an asshole. He's an asshole. That's why. And there's a lot of people in MAGA that like that about him because they're assholes too. And I said what I said. I don't care if it makes you mad. I'm going to tell you what I tell my people over on Facebook. It's not that you might be a bigot or a racist or a homophobe or a xenophobe or a hateful bastard, but then you're voting for someone who is, and you're making excuses for someone who is. And I'm going to end this podcast with this message. I'm going to give you this message before I get out of here. When the smoke clears from this nightmare, when we all wake up and Trump's name is forever forgotten in the fields of politics, just remember the friends, the coworkers, the family members who you looked in the face and said, I'm voting for Trump in spite of his hate towards these people. Gay people, black people, brown people, anyone that's not a Christian, just remember, because there is no coming back from that. One day, y'all are going to forget the stupidity that was you during Trump's foolishness, and you're going to want to pick back up where you left off and the lives of loved ones, and they're going to tell you to fuck off. as they should. Because inside, you may not be any of those things, but you voted for someone who is. And that speaks volumes. So yeah, you can fuck off. For real. Go. Be gone forever. Because you can't really say what it is. And especially after I've given you the facts. He's a failed businessman. He did not do a damn thing for the economy but mess it up. He inherited a good economy. So what's left? What else are you voting for him for? Because he tells it like it is. Okay, what is it? What is it? What is it that he's telling? Yeah, he's telling a whole lot. Y'all are going along with it. So just remember that when you start losing family and friends or, coworkers just kind of put you on ice. Just remember that when this is all said and done, you can't come back from that. Not with me anyway. Gon' get. Okay, anyway, thank you for tuning in to the Mileeva Speaks podcast. I will be returning shortly. I am going to cast my vote Tuesday. I am going to cast my vote, early voting here in Texas. I will be doing that. I probably will do a podcast for next week. I am not putting a set time on these podcasts because one thing that I have learned with my radio shows is life be lifing. And so, no, I'm not going to say, hey, every Thursday at such and such time or every Friday at such and such time. Whenever I'm able to do a podcast, sometimes it will be pre-recorded. It will be here in my studio. At other times, it might be over an hour like today's is. Other times, it may be something that I want to quickly address. And I might be in my bed, okay, using my little small Rode mic from my phone, okay, and I might go live. Sometimes the show may go live. It's going to be flying by the seat of my pants, really. So, don't expect this to happen every single Friday or even every single week. It really depends on if I have something worthy to talk about. There's always something worthy to talk about. So it probably will be weekly, but it might be on a different day. Who knows? Might be an hour, might be 20 minutes. Who knows? Okay. So anyway, make sure that you share, you like, and you subscribe to this channel so that you can get the notifications anytime I'm either live or I have uploaded a new episode of this podcast. Again, thank you so much. My show, The Friday Drive, will be on this evening from 5 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on KERB 99.9 KERB. You can listen in live on KERB online, curbonline.live. That's this evening. Tomorrow, if you're a rockhead, I got Planet Rock for you, okay? I will be on 99.9 KERB, KRAM Radio, and 107.5 The Swamp, Louisiana. That's 3 stations you can catch me on. Again, Curb is curbonline.live. KRAM Radio is kram.live. And 107.5 The Swamp is theswampradio.com. Just make sure that you click 107.5 The Swamp Classics. There are 2 separate servers. I'm on the classic server, okay? On Sunday, we chill out, we smooth out, we mellow out. Smooth Out Sundays, jazz and neo soul. That is on 99.9 KERB right here in Houston and 107.5 The Swamp in Louisiana. So tune in for those. Make sure again that you follow. If you want to listen to any of my previous shows, I'm talking about my radio shows. If you want to get any information on the radio stations, download our apps. You can go and click that link in my bio right here. It'll take you to everything Mileeva, okay? Enjoy the rest of your Friday and your weekend. If early voting is happening for you on Tuesday, get out there and rock that vote. Peace, everyone.